Hi, folks. Dr. Jim Gschwind here. Hey, our campaign of common sense in the Republican Party is pressing on and on and on. But I cannot believe how these blue states and blue cities are doubling down. They're insane. What that defies logic of what they're doing. They've seen where they took a beating, for God's sake, in the elections, and for God's sake, they're doubling down on these parent rights issues in New York and also in Colorado. Colorado, that law that they just passed, for God's sake, a kid can be taken away from you because you don't want it mutilated. Lord Almighty, what is wrong with these people? That's why the American people sat there and shunned all of this stuff before. And Trump's economic plan is doing well. Even though I got stung by it, buying that bronze statue, commissioning that bronze statue in China, for God's sake, for the American Legion. I may be stuck with the down payment I've already made, because I ain't getting it into the country at 145% tariff, that's for sure. If anyone knows any way to help on that, let me know. I owe $8,000 on it. No, I owe $5,000 on it. That's right. Anyway, our American Legion post is moved. Our grand opening is the 2nd of May. If anyone around here would like to come down and see us at 4656 Gulf Breeze Parkway on Highway 98. School is almost done. I have to sit there and do my ROTC awards at University of West Florida. That involves scholarship money too. And I have a scholarship to give out. And let's see how that works out. I've got one applicant. I've never seen it so hard to sit there and get kids to accept money. It's absolutely ridiculous. They don't want to fill out forms. Unless it's on the phone. Anyway, the tariffs are working well. 75 people have come to the table. 75 countries, or 78 now, they say. And Britain has told China, basically, we're acing China out of the world markets. Now, folks, we've been at war, economic war with China for decades, and everyone would sit there and refuse to acknowledge it. Okay? And yes, the people in Greenland want their independence. Now, if they get their independence, they'll sit there and sign some sort of security agreement with us to where we can put bases there, I'm sure. But Denmark has done them no favors. They don't like Denmark at all because Denmark has not really treated them well. So, we shall see what happens in that regard. I cannot believe some of the stuff that is going on. That's why I'm a member of the Party of Common Sense. The MAGA is a movement of common sense. Make America great again. There's nothing wrong with patriotism. Patriotism is a wonderful word. I got awards for writing papers when I was in high school and stuff like that for writing patriotic pieces. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a very, very good feeling to have, is a feeling of patriotism for your home country. Now, yes, we've had our years of imperialism. We've sat there and we treated the Indians wrong, our Native Americans wrong. But the thing, and we had slavery. Well, we inherited it from Britain, of course. And Britain, when they got rid of slavery in Britain, they didn't do it for their colonies. They did it just for Britain. Okay? And of course, even under the Constitution, originally, we banned the slave trade. We couldn't ban slavery yet because of we needed the southern states to sit there and join us. We got over that with the cost of millions of lives, okay, in a civil war. It's unbelievable. You know, people sit there and don't see what this country has gone through to sit there and give everyone equal rights. We may not have started perfect, but we're sitting there trying as we go along. And that's why the Constitution is fit, because it sits there and can change. With the 13th and 14th Amendments, sit there and change, slavery and granting slaves citizenship. And then, of course, we had the Civil Rights Act. I could not believe I came across someone who sat there and thought that Lyndon Baines Johnson was not one of the biggest racists ever to come out of Congress. He was. Yeah, just because he sat there and got something that Kennedy started through across the finish line. Yeah, but not a single Democrat voted for that. Not a single Democrat. They were all Dixiecrats. Remember, Dixiecrats back then were the segregationalists. Okay? That's just history. I'm sorry, it's history. It was a Republican Congress. The Republicans voted for it. The Democrats didn't. And it's only because you had a Democrat president that sat there and signed it. And he was basically forced to sign it. So it was optics. Okay? It was just optics. And of course, Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican, folks. And so was a lot of his family. In fact, some of his family that speak today, okay, at Republican events are descendants of Martin Luther King Jr. And they're Republicans, okay? And they're MAGA Republicans, quite frankly. Like Elvira King. Alrighty, well, folks, all I can say is we have to keep fighting. The culture war is not over. The political one may be somewhat over. And I think we're going to have these district judges put in a check with a bill introduced through Congress. And I think it will get through Congress, because I don't think the Democrats like what's going on either, even though they're using it. But they know that that can come back to bite them in the butt, too. Okay? They're finding that out about a lot of things. Okay? Obama's Doge. That's Obama's thing now. And, hey, the president can get rid of USAID. It does not mean USAID. It means Agency for International Development. It was a CIA cover. And some of the stuff they did, $200,000 for condoms for the Taliban and this and that. And what happened a lot was grift in these campuses. We're sitting there, and also the corruption in Congress, insider trading, you name it. But what they would do is they would sit there and set up a charitable organization with a relative of the congressman or something like that, right? And USAID would sit there and give to this charity, and it all looks all proper and well until you find out that the wife of the senator so-and-so or congressman so-and-so is the one running it. And, of course, feeding that money right on back. That's money laundering, folks. And it's been going on. In fact, there's an investigation going on now, sitting there trying to find out, Doge is trying to find out why so many poor congressmen and senators sit there and get into office and come out such multimillionaires. Okay? I don't think that you and I have to sit there and figure that out. I think Doge really knows, but they're going through the steps, legal steps, to sit there and figure out how this happens. And then they're going to let you know, and some people won't care, but I care. Anyway, God bless you all. I believe in the United States of America. I pledge allegiance again to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. We have never been a democracy. Wilson was the first one to use that. Democracy is mob rule, folks. I love you. Remember, God bless you. And I remain your humble servant.